GM survey drop. We're going to talk about who the GMs thinks the best defensive player in the NBA, the best perimeter defender, the best player in the NBA, who has the highest chance to win the MVP, and more. We're going to get into all that and more right after this.
Welcome to the number one place for your daily basketball news and analysis, NBA Central.
What's going on, basketball fans? Welcome to another episode of NBA Central. Kev, C-Dub, Haize, we all in the building today, holding it down for the squad. But with that said, man, let's jump into the survey, man. This is always a fun part before the season starts to kind of think where the GMs are ranking people and stuff like that. We're going to start off with the first one. First poll in this survey is which team will win the NBA Finals? So in this, it's actually a two-way tie for the top for number one and number two. Both the Boston Celtics and the Denver Nuggets got 33% of the vote, with the Milwaukee Bucks third on that list at 23%. What are you guys thinking?
I love it. I kind of C-Dub, I kind of felt like Denver hasn't been getting no love after winning the championship last season. So for me to see the general managers have such a high regard for these guys, I think it's dope, because all we're hearing about is the Milwaukee Bucks, the Boston Celtics, the Lakers, the Golden State Warriors, and Denver kind of been flying under the radar after they just won the chip. So to see the GMs talking about them, I like it.
I understand why everybody picking the Denver Nuggets and the Boston Celtics. I don't know about that. If y'all believe in Porzingis, you believe in Porzingis. But Porzingis, I don't think he's a championship caliber player. But where the hell is the Phoenix Suns? Who is
ranked at 4 at 7%?
I think the Phoenix Suns personally, and I'm not mad at the Denver Nuggets for the GMs picking the Denver Nuggets, but I just find it hard for any team in this NBA to beat that team 4 out of 7 times in the series.
See, the thing though with that, bro, and I get where you're getting at with that, but like that's looking at offense, and unfortunately, especially as you get further along in the playoffs, defense becomes more. And I could see like both Denver and Boston, while flawed teams, have shown an ability to kick it up a different level defensively that nobody on the Phoenix Suns, except Kevin Durant in one series, has shown they could do consistently.
Especially with Drew Holiday on Boston. But go ahead.
Yeah.
Can I interest you? And they absolutely got better defensively, even after losing a great defender, I think, in DeAndre Ayton.
You talking about Mo Bamba?
No, I'm not talking about
Wait, how did the Suns get better defensively?
I like Grayson Allen. He's a scrappy defender. Okogie, he's going to be a great defender. Jokic is a solid defender in the middle, a more mature center for the Phoenix Suns. And y'all act like KD don't. He's at least mediocre at defense. And then you got Devin Booker.
Last 3 years, I don't know if I can say that.
I mean, KD does have like off-ball defense. He'll definitely get some chase down blocks and so on and so forth. But I don't know about Nurkic. You can't rely on him.
To be healthy.
He's played 30 games in the last 7 seasons.
And then you can say about Grayson Allen, he's like, shout out to like what he does in the regular season. I can't get, but if you go look at the playoffs historically, they stop playing him because when you facing tough, like Grayson Allen starts getting frustrated, he starts doing that dirty shit, and you got to sit him down because you can't risk the fouls.
I agree with that. He have come up short in playoff series, but now I think the game is going to be easier with 3 great players, 3 absolute great players.
You know what I think the GMs are seeing, bro? I think the GMs are seeing the last few times that players kind of formed super teams, it hasn't really worked out.
That's right.
It's true.
And teams that have consistency, continuity, that's been playing together, those are the teams that's been winning over these last few seasons. So that might be why Phoenix is falling, to the back of the line with this particular poll.
Yeah. Let me ask one more question, and I hate that I gotta say this. Where's the Lakers?
Why the fuck would they be on this list?
Oh, you don't. Oh, Trill.
Well, they did make it to. They made it to.
You
the
don't
Western,
like that team?
They made it to the Western Conference Finals with a worse team than the team that they have right now.
This is true, but at the same time, you're betting on a lot to work out and a lot of health, and at least with the GMs, like cool. Anthony Davis was able to stay healthy for most of the playoffs. So you gonna bet on that for a second year in a row?
Probably not. You're gonna lose your money.
Like that's the thing, right? And shout out to LeBron. I'm not a complete LeBron hater, but like let's be clear here. LeBron ain't the clutch player. Like he needs an AD to be healthy, and I don't know if you can bet on that, bro.
You don't think they're a threat for the Nuggets?
I
Or
think that they're a threat, but I'm saying if I had to bet, like I'm putting both Denver and Phoenix above the Los Angeles Lakers as far
oh,
as
that's fair. That's fair.
so
That's fair. That's exactly where I'm at. I'm just saying they're a threat. If they can catch fire, they can be dangerous in the
oh
play.
for sure.
They
For
can
sure.
be dangerous in the play. They can win the
I
championship.
mean, we know how much you love LeBron, C-Dub, so we got to
Oh,
give him some love.
you know this. You hear me?
Y'all funny. Y'all niggas is funny. All right, let's move on to the next one. So the next one is who will win MVP? Jokic gets 43% of the vote. Giannis gets 20. Jason Tatum with 13. Luka Doncic with 10%. And then all the other players receiving votes. Anthony Davis got some votes. They don't break down the percentages. KD, Joel Embiid, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I'm going to jump off this one first. The biggest thing that I think the disrespect on this list is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander should be higher than Luka Doncic on this list. Shai had an MVP level season last year. The only reason he wasn't in that consideration is because that team didn't start winning until well after, the midpoint of the season. You now have Shai ready to go after last season with Chet being fully healthy this season. Listen, y'all can keep doubting. I'm not saying y'all, I'm talking about the people. Keep doubting Shai, keep doubting the OKC Thunder. That's the team that I look at the East that can't, if they all hit and those young players develop, they can be the disruptors in that Western Conference.
Oh, I love the Thunder with Adam and Jalen Williams too. That kid just plays basketball. He can do absolutely everything. I just want to. I don't have any problem with that list. I probably wouldn't have Joker at the top. I have Giannis because Giannis is going to be unstoppable with another player like that with Dame on his team. But why is they forcing Luka in every damn list that we see? Like, bro,
you gotta have a great white hope on every list, bro. You gotta have a great white
Wouldn't
hope.
that be Joker? I'm right there with you, C-Dub. Like I feel like Luka is just like James Harden was in Houston, where it was just ISO ball, and eventually that led to an MVP for James Harden because I don't know why. I guess it's the eye test or whatever. But I'm also right there with you, C-Dub, in regard to Giannis. I feel like Giannis is going to have a much better season than let's say Joel Embiid did last year, and Joel Embiid won the MVP. The main reason why they're giving Joker all this love is because from a metric standpoint, this dude is historic. Like
yes,
from usage rate to his ability to score to all of that, it's just historic. So it's going to be hard to take it from Joker again because honestly, he really could have won it, maybe should have won it last season, and it wasn't until Kendrick Perkins made that conversation about his race that things kind of shifted toward Joel Embiid. Not saying that Joel Embiid didn't deserve it, but Joker is going to be hard to beat, but Giannis is going to be right there on his tail.
yeah, man. I don't even
See, the thing I think with Giannis is I think having a player like Dame may hurt his votes for MVP just a little bit because I expect both of them to go absolutely off. I mean, I agree with him being second on this list, but I really think it comes down to I think it is Jokic and Giannis. Those are the only two in my opinion. Now, we always get a surprise player that has a great season, but I really do think I feel confident saying one of those two guys are going to walk.
I'm gonna give you a surprise player that is gonna come up 3, and you said it already. SGA gonna be 3rd in MVP
for sure.
vote.
Yeah.
I say SGA. Yeah. It's time. It's time. And I don't even think Dallas make the playoffs. Y'all think Dallas make the playoffs?
Bro, they're going to have a long road. I think that they can make it because I think that both Kyrie and Luka are going to be out to prove something this year. And maybe that causes them to sacrifice more. But I tell you what, we talking about Phoenix's defense. I trust Phoenix's defense 10 times more than I trust Dallas.
And they also have a defensive coach now with what's it, Frank? Is it Lawrence Frank? No, it's not Lawrence Frank. Who is it? Funny looking dude. Who Phoenix? Who's the new coach? The coach is a defensive coach. He coached the Lakers. He coached the Pacers with Paul George.
Oh yeah. What? No, Frank Vogel.
Frank Vogel. There you go. I said Lawrence Frank, but Frank Vogel is gonna have those boys playing defense. So yeah, man, I like it. I like what Phoenix got going defensively. As far as your Dallas question is concerned, I believe they're gonna make the playoffs. I think the West is gonna be just as muddied as it was last season. Between the 4 and the 12 spot, it was only like 2 or 3 games separating a lot of those teams. And I think
Absolutely.
Dallas kind of fell off in that last 10-game stretch. Whereas this season, I just feel like they're gonna probably get over the hump. Them and Oklahoma City, those are the two teams that.
Wait, when you say playoffs, do you mean they can make the play in, or you
Yeah,
think they're going to be a top 6
I
seed?
include that. I include the play in.
Okay, I just wanted to make clear on that because I was about to say I can see them making the
I
play
say
in.
play in.
Playoffs outright. I don't. Yeah, I
No
don't see
way.
them making the playoffs.
No way.
Yeah,
No, they can't play. They can't play defense. They're not going to be a top. It's too many teams. Memphis. We forget about Memphis and Clippers if they stay healthy. Oh, it's too many
yeah.
teams. They
Facts,
no way.
facts, facts. So next up, the poll we're going to talk about is the question that was posed to GMs is which player forces opposing coaches to make the most adjustments. Top in that one, Steph Curry got 40% of the vote. Jokic got 33%. Giannis got 13. Luka got 10. And Embiid got 3.
Ooh, that's a good. Oh, that's I love this question.
I don't
Can
think
I
it's
go?
I think
Embiid.
Jokic should be.
I don't think it's Embiid. It's obviously Curry. Like Curry is the obvious answer in terms of like just from the surface, right? From the
Mhm.
surface, it's like man, Curry can score from anywhere on the court. His inside game is a lot. It's just terribly underrated. Getting to the basket, so I can understand why they got Curry at the top, but I just don't think that's the true answer here.
Yeah. I you,
I
I'm.
think it's still
I
Jokic.
think
When you
it's
have a
Joker.
big man that basically is operating as your point guard, that changes your focal point
Yeah.
as a defense so much more. Like, don't get me wrong, you do have to guard Steph, especially when Steph gets hot. You got to guard 52 feet.
Yeah.
But it's something different about when your center is basically your point guard and it allows your guards to just roam around on
Yes.
the perimeter like that. We don't really see that in NBA history. We've probably only seen about 5 players that can do that at that
And it
level.
was, and
So
honestly, it
Absolutely.
was Scottie Pippen was like one of the first ones to do it. He's not a
Yeah.
center, but he was your big man
yeah,
handling
I
the
get what you're
ball.
saying from that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'll just to expound on that. Look what you have to deal with Joker. If he's being a playmaker, everybody has to have their antennas up on
Yeah.
defense. If he's in the post, everybody has to have their antennas up on defense. If he's standing at the 3-point line by himself, you better get out there and put a hand up. You have to defend him and don't let him get a rebound and he throws an outlet pass. It is so many facets to this guy's game. It gotta be Joker. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it really does have to be Joker. Like we said earlier, Curry is understood. Like we get it, but this ain't unanimous MVP Curry.
He's
You
not
know, like
7 feet.
yeah, it's just not. You know, he can score on every level, but like defensively, he's not giving you much. And honestly, Joker just has way too much to like the if we're talking about the opposing teams having to make adjustments, is definitely Joker.
Joker ain't giving you much on defense neither. So let me just say that.
That's true.
Yeah.
This is facts. As far as the next poll is a bunch of who's most likely to break out in 2023
Great
24.
question.
Anthony Edwards getting 23% of the vote, followed by Cade Cunningham getting 20% of that vote, Franz Wagner getting 13%, Paolo getting 7, Maxi getting 7, and then you had a bunch of players splitting the rest of the percentage of the vote. Bain, Bridges, Tyrese Halliburton, Chet, Kyrie. How the hell is Kyrie a threat to break out?
Why is that
I'm
is
done with that part of the list.
crazy?
Come
At this
on,
point now, I'm
GMs.
done.
Come on
That
now.
just I'm done now with that.
Who?
I didn't even see that name there, bro. I read that and I had to double check. Kyrie breaking out. Come on, bro. Like, come on.
I'm putting Chet at the top of that list, if I
Chet.
may,
Okay.
because I just feel like between Chet and Victor Wembanyama, it's gonna be like kind of similar to what Melo and LeBron went through. Victor's coming in with all this hype, but Chet is on a better team. And I feel like even though Victor's probably going to get the rookie of the year, I just feel like Chet is going to help propel OKC to a level that they couldn't get to last season, that they probably would have gotten to last season had he played. So I have him as breakout player, rookie of the year, contender type situation. But I agree with you. What the hell is Kyrie Irving doing on this list?
Bro, I saw that name and I
That's
was like, yeah, I'm
that's
just done
nuts.
reading at this point,
Hey,
bro. That makes no
hey, Big
sense.
Kev, before I go, what would you line Chet at? Would you put him at power forward center or what would you have him play at?
Oklahoma City, they still got no Steven Adams on Memphis. Who was Oklahoma City's big man? Was it Valanciunas or that was
They
he was
got
on?
Dort. I think it what Dort played a big man.
Dort plays the
He's
He
an
three.
played
under.
three.
If he, I'm about to say if
They got Jalen
Oh,
Williams.
Jalen with
So
the big
there you
Jalen
go.
was
So
with a
yeah,
Y.
so he going. I think they're gonna
no, that's LEN.
Oh, okay.
they're gonna interchange those two. Both of them gonna play 4 and 5 together, in my
I
opinion.
mean, they got a lot of people that can play 4 and 5. So they got Jalen Williams, LEN. They got Chet. They got Ousmane Dang,
Oh yeah,
who was a player that was drafted by I don't think last year, I think the year before. And they got Jalen Williams, J-A-Y Williams. So
yeah.
you got 4 players that all theoretically, especially if you, which we know that OKC isn't against going small, that can all play that 4-5. So
Yeah.
it's a nice rotation.
Yeah, I like that pick right there, Chad. But I'm gonna go with Paulo. I'm gonna go with
Okay.
Paulo. I like the experience that he got with the USA team, even though they absolutely disappointed us. But I think he gonna come out and he is a threat, dude. Since he came in the league, I called him LeBron James without the speed. He's very fierce and strong in that paint. He can shoot the mid range. He can occasionally shoot the 3-point
You
shot.
know who I compare Paulo to? That I can't remember who it was in the comments. I said this. He's a modern day Rasheed Wallace.
Rasheed Wallace.
I like that. She was a lefty
It's
though,
hard.
right?
Drip, I ain't gonna
Yeah.
lie. It's hard for me because Rasheed was a perimeter. He turned around and shoot that jumper.
But he
Paulo
also,
is
when he
a
went to
lot of
Detroit, he was
power.
in the post.
He was.
You saying Rasheed didn't have power,
He had
bro?
power, bro, but he was a
Rasheed
lot
still
of
got power
finesse.
today.
Bro, like Rasheed had old man strength at 24,
Yeah.
bro.
He
Like,
had a gray patch of hair in his head. But I understand where you're coming from, Brody, because Franz Wagner and Paolo made this list because I think GMs are high on Orlando. We've been talking about Orlando all
He got a
offseason,
nice young team.
and we feel like they're
yeah,
going to
that's
take
gonna
a
get
step.
15 wins
Yeah.
this season.
I think they're going to take a step forward. I don't think it's going to be 15
Not that
wins.
much. Not that much.
Bro, they were right outside the play-in this past season because of how they started, and they finished strong. They finished with one of the better records on it from the second half forward in the NBA. So we know what they're capable of. If they have a stronger start, where they're not like 2-12 or whatever they were, 3-15, but they're playing 500 ball for the whole season, they should be all right.
Let me tell you why. I'm just gonna give a simple answer why. Who's the vet on Orlando Magic? Cole Anthony. They're gonna be exactly what.
Isn't he still like 24?
Yes, they are
They got a
super
bunch of
young.
20-year-olds,
Kill.
bro. It's crazy. They got a
Unless
bunch
you,
of 20-year-olds.
what is the kid Carter from? We used to be with the Bulls.
Wendell Carter.
Wendell Carter. Like, come
Oh,
on.
they got Gary Harris on there. He's 29.
Come on, guys.
It's crazy how young they are.
Yeah, dude.
Jonathan Isaac's knees are 45. So I mean, there's that.
His knees older than me. He bogus.
They'll be entertaining though. They'll be entertaining. I like the rookie Anthony Black that they picked up.
Yeah,
They maybe
star
need
pick, goddamn it.
Yeah. And they maybe need to get rid of Cole Anthony and let Anthony Black run that point guard. But that's their problem. You know what I'm saying? They want to continue with this small point guard. That's on them. But I still think they're gonna be right around the same number that they did last year, bro. They too young.
Fair enough.
They too young.
Fair enough. Next poll, we're going to talk about which team made the best overall moves this offseason. Considering there's a lot of moves, Boston and Milwaukee tied with 23% of the vote. Portland's next up with 17%. Lakers with 13%. Then the Mavericks and Houston Rockets tied at 7% each.
I like that they showed Portland love. Let's get that out the way.
They just made a good set of moves.
They made some great moves.
I love it. I mean, losing a player like Dame Lillard could set you back decades. So the fact that they were able to make significant moves and not necessarily set themselves back in the process, I got to give love to Portland. But obviously, man, the top two teams is Boston and Milwaukee, and I'm giving a slight edge to Boston because of them getting Drew Holiday. That's the only reason why. Prior to them getting Drew Holiday, because I feel like they lost too much with Marcus Smart, but now they got it back and probably better.
More offensive upside than Marcus
exactly, and still a really great defender on the perimeter. So that's the reason why I'm giving it to Boston. I like the Porzingis signing, much to the chagrin of my man C-Dub here. I like the Porzingis signing because here in New York and in Dallas, they expected Porzingis to be a number one, number two, and in the Wizards. He's not expected to do that with Boston. He's going to be the third option at best, and in some cases,
Sometimes the fourth option
exactly
now with
in
Drew
some
there.
cases the
Yeah.
fourth option. So I feel like Boston did a lot this offseason to address their needs, which one was shooting. They didn't have enough of it, and they still got better defensively after trading their best defensive player.
I hear what you're saying about Boston, and I'm definitely on the opposite thinking of where you at. I think they lost a lot of heart and a lot of winners. And Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart was the heart of that team. They will pay the penalty for that. It's going to take them a minute to gel together without that guy.
But let me
I
ask you,
think.
C Dub. Let me ask you, C Dub.
Yes,
So I was on the same page with you before they got Drew Holiday. Do you not believe that Drew
Mhm.
Holiday
I
is a
do.
good replacement for Marcus Smart?
I do, but he is not Marcus Smart, and Marcus Smart is not Drew Holiday. Marcus Smart did
True,
the
but
little
what Drew
things. Yeah, go ahead.
True, and Drew's going to do that, but I think also you have to understand that Drew Holiday is a championship winning point guard that's going to a team that hasn't been able to get over the hump. And I trust that Drew Holiday, while he's not like a true half court facilitating Steve Nash point guard, but I'm going to give him a bit of an edge on helping the cohesion of that team, because when you have a point guard that can do those things, it brings the cohesion together some. And I also think that Drew Holiday is going to be somebody that tells somebody like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, hey, y'all need to shut the fuck up for a second. Listen to me and the coach. We about to try to get this win.
Okay, and then I will just come back with is Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum equivalent to Giannis Antetokounmpo?
Together?
Yes.
Yes, they
Yeah,
surpass him.
together. Yes.
Together
Yes.
is they're
Yeah.
Oh,
together.
okay. Okay.
I think they're
I,
more than equivalent
you
than
think they're more than
Giannis.
equivalent?
Yes, the
Okay.
two of them combined. Yes.
Okay.
But I still don't understand why at this point, when you're guarding Jaylen Brown, all you got to do is stand on his right side. And the moment he has to go left is over with. Like, that's all I would do if I'm guarding
Real
Jaylen
talk,
Brown. Just
bro.
stand on his right side and be like, all right, where are we going now?
Real talk.
Because if you try to come through me, I'm going to get the
That boy,
charge. Like, what we
he
doing?
better have done everything left-handed this season, this offseason. I'm
Nah,
talking about he better wave left-handed this whole offseason.
That's funny, bro. My man Kev said he tie his right hand behind his back for 3 months and let him figure it out.
Hey man, I'm gonna go with Milwaukee with just basically the obvious. They picked up Dame Lillard. I think they should be the favorites. I'm not picking them to win a championship, but I think they should be the favorites to win the NBA
Jackson,
championship. Huh?
my bad.
Oh, they should be the favorite to win the NBA championship. And I'm doing that for a selfish reason, because Dame Lillard, I feel like he been hiding over there in the Northwest. Now it's time to show and prove, my guy. You cannot hide anymore. Go and win a championship.
All right, fair enough. Fair
Yeah.
enough. Next poll: what was the most underrated player acquisition? Marcus Smart, 17% of the vote. Grant Williams second with 14%. You got Dylan Brooks, Bruce Brown, Yusuf Nurkic, Max Strus, and Fred VanVleet all tied with all 7% of the vote.
Yeah.
Other players receiving votes: Aiton, Miles Bridges, which they count that. All these others be sucking, man. Why are we counting that as an acquisition? Anyway, what do you guys think of the most underrated player
I
acquisition?
like the DeAndre Ayton. I feel like DeAndre Ayton with a clean slate and no expectations is going to go to Portland and play some good basketball. Like, I think he's going to play the best basketball of his career because he got a monkey lifted off his back, especially the last 3 seasons in Phoenix where they're expected to win the championship. Now he doesn't have to worry about any of that. He's still only, 24, 25 years old, former number 1 overall pick. If he develops any type of shot from the perimeter, that dude is gonna be on point.
So you think, before I go, do you think he's the number 1 option in Portland, Drip?
Oh, fuck no.
Absolutely
No?
not.
He's not gonna be.
Who? That's the young.
No, I mean they're committed to developing Scoot, Shaden Sharp, and Anthony Simons together. Like, don't get me wrong, Aiton's gonna get a lot of shots, but he's not the number 1 option.
Right now, Jeremy Grant better be the number 1 option with all that
No
money
way.
they threw. I'm just saying.
No way.
I was just making a joke. I was just
Jeremy
making a joke.
Grant ain't even his mama's number 1 option on her fantasy team. Come on, bro.
Horace ain't gonna like
What they gave him 100 and what? 130 million or something like that.
Yes.
bro?
Like, that's crazy.
I'm a go a little off script and maybe a little bit under the line here. I think Derrick Rose was the best one for Ja Morant in the mission that he's going to do over there. I think he's great for Ja Morant. I ain't saying he's gonna go in and take time away from John Morant. But I think as a mentor, this was the best move in the NBA this offseason.
Well,
Listen,
low key, him and Marcus Smart. My bad. Go ahead.
you can't mentor nobody who don't want to listen. I gotta see Ja be willing to listen before I can say anything. Because right now, don't get me wrong, I agree that Derrick Rose should be able to be all of that. It's not Derrick that I'm doubting.
Yeah.
It's Ja dumbass who I'm doubting, bro. Like,
That's fair.
Hey, but
That's
you know
fair.
D Rose teaching him the 5 P's right now, bro. You
He ain't
already
teaching. He better not be teaching that man no 5 P's game.
that's stupid. That's crazy.
Oh my God. Who you got, Drip?
All right. What?
Who you got? Who you got as the most?
As the most underrated acquisition?
Yeah.
Oh, Marcus Smart by far. Like, he's identical. Marcus Smart is everything that you want from a basketball player as far as an ultimate role guy. I'm not saying he's just a role player, but when you look at like what he's going to be able to do, he can play next to Ja, he can play next to Desmond Bane. He adds so much on what that team needs when they need a defensive stop. He's going to bring that. And if this team, and let me not say this team, I don't want to put everybody under it. If Ja is willing to listen, because one of the things with Marcus Smart, we know that Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum didn't always listen to him. If they're willing to listen to what he got to say, he's going to be so important for what that team needs to be, bro. He's almost perfect for exactly what that team needed. And then on top of that, with Ja missing the first 10 games, 20 games of the
25.
season, 25 games of the season, it gives them a chance to develop an identity without Ja. And Ja is going to have to realize now he has to come in. It's still his team.
Yes.
But he has to come in and fit into what they're already, because if they're having success without Ja, you cannot come into that and disrupt what's going on if you want another chance.
Hayes, you know what's funny? Because the last 2 seasons, they've had success without Ja.
Yeah.
The last 2 seasons. And they about to start this season the same way. But what they're getting in Marcus Smart is everything they wanted from Dillon Brooks without getting punched in the nuts in the process.
Can this team win a championship this year?
No.
Memphis, I'm not saying that yet. I gotta see them make it to like a Western Conference Finals first before I'm willing to that Western Conference, bro. Like, it's gonna be the Wild Wild West for real this season, and Memphis is gonna win a lot of games.
Yeah,
but I'm not trusting them right now to make it over the hump in the playoffs. When you got teams like Phoenix with vets, you got Denver who won the title, even the Lakers. You got Lakers that with LeBron and AD healthy. No, you got to first get Jaren Jackson Jr. to stop. That man averages almost 4 fouls a game for his career.
Yeah, that's because he averaged 4 blocks a game.
Yeah, true.
But he got to be smarter.
You're right.
You got to be smarter with that. They can't just be swatting the SWAT. Like, I need him to go and watch Kareem to explain how he got shot blocks, right? Like, you time, you can't just be out there hacking motherfuckers, bro.
And you trying to send it into the audience. But I don't know. If Steven Adams ain't healthy, Memphis ain't going nowhere, bro.
But he's healthy. He's going to start
right now. He is.
Yeah. I'm not saying they can go and win a championship, but I think they can threaten for that Western Conference final. You just look at their whole team.
They better than Sacramento?
They've been through a lot of trial. They've been through a lot of trial.
They better than Sacramento?
Yeah. I can say that easily, yes.
Not easily, bro.
I can say that easily, yes.
Didn't Sacramento finish, third? Did they finish third in last season? In the West?
They know. Hey, let's see how they do this year when the league know they coming now.
Okay, I'll give you
Let's
that.
see how they do it when the league know they coming. Yeah, let's see.
Let's go to some of these coaching polls. Who's the best coach in the NBA? Eric Spoelstra with 73% of the vote. Next up, Tyronn Lue with 10%, Kerr with 7%, Pop with 7%, and Malone in Denver with 3% of it. How y'all feel about Spoelstra? Last year he led it with 52%. They upped him to 73% this year.
I mean,
can
you argue against it though?
Cannot.
My nigga took a bag of rocks and some crystal meth to the finals,
and
bro.
Jimmy Butler
and
Jimmy Butler.
Bro.
Yeah, bro. And I think I also need to point out on this that GMs cannot vote for their own personnel or their own team in this.
Otherwise, it would have been 80%.
Exactly. Otherwise, it would have been 80%. So, like, that says a lot.
Can we go for the second, then? Let's go for the second.
Let's go. Spoelstra won best coach. He won best motivator, and he won the coach that makes the best in-game adjustments. Eric Spoelstra is so well respected.
He is. He's already been accepted as a top 10 all-time NBA coach.
That's fair to
Yeah.
say, man. He been doing it for a long time too. It was hard.
Oh, and he won best defensive schemes as well with 40% of that
You
vote.
can't deny it, dude. He took a team that was 5 minutes away from being eliminated out of the play-in all the way to the finals and actually won a game. You
Facts.
can't deny that, dude.
You can't.
Come on. Come on. Who's the second best? Well, that's a better question. And I'm going to go.
Let me go back to that one.
I'm not going to go Pop. I'm going to go
Mike Malone
Steve
was
Kerr.
up there, right?
Steve Kerr. I'm going to go Steve Kerr. I ain't going to disrespect Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr.
I don't know, man. Like
I'm going Mike Malone. I'm sorry.
I would have
Yeah,
said
that's
Steve Kerr. I'm right there with you, Haize, on Mike Malone, because basing this on last season, and I'm guessing this kind of how the GMs are looking at these things. The Golden State Warriors were atrocious on the road. Steve Kerr could not coach them to road wins. Did they get 10 road wins last season?
I think they may have got 10.
I don't know. They were atrocious on the road. That's all I know.
I don't even think they got 10 road wins last season, bro. I honestly don't.
That's crazy. Did they not get 10 road wins last season? Somebody look that up. We need to fact check Kev on that one. I'm not gonna call
They got
cap,
more
that
than
just
10.
sounds
They
Bro,
crazy.
it was if they got 10, it was exactly that.
No, they got like no way.
I'm telling you, hold
That's
on.
crazy.
I'm looking it up right now before we go to the next one real quick. These mocks, they already moved to the new season. Hold on.
Well,
These mocks had Golden State Warriors. They were 11-30, so they got 11 wins.
Jesus Christ, that's crazy, bro. That's wild. They were atrocious on the road. That's crazy.
Oh my God.
That's wild. All right, one quick one on this one. Which active player will make the best head coach someday? Chris Paul got 20% of the vote. Mike Conley with 13. Garrett Temple with 13. TJ McConnell with 10. Drew Holiday with 7. Van Vliet with 7%.
Is Rajon Rondo officially retired?
Yes, he's officially
Okay.
retired.
Then
Out
yeah,
of
Chris
those
Paul.
guys. but nobody his contemporaries don't like him, bro. Is he?
Yeah,
Would it be? Are you to be a head coach or a successful head coach? Just to be one?
Be the best head coach. Successfulness got to play a part in it.
I got Drew Holiday. I just can't do CP3. I can't. I go Drew Holiday.
Is Ricky
and I'm
Rubio
not even
still
sure
playing?
about him. Ricky Rubio.
Rubio is still playing, but I feel like Rubio is going to be one of those players. When he retires, we will never see him. We will never see him again.
He gonna grab a couple of
go
supermodels and
We
disappear.
will never see exactly. Never see him
He
again.
going straight to Barcelona. He going home. What do you mean?
Bro, that's funny. That is hilarious. Oh man. All right, another one, random one. Which team has the best home court advantage? Denver Nuggets won this one with 37%. Golden State with number 2 with 17. Kings with 13 at number 3. Jazz with 10% at number 4. And then the Celtics, the Knicks, and the Raptors all splitting 7% to tie for number 5. And then the 76ers with number 8 with 3%.
Talking about light the beam. Man, it's the Golden State Warriors. They won 11 games away from the crib and 33 at the crib, bro. Come on.
Yeah, I can't argue with that, but I got to go with the mile high. In Denver, you're on the mountain, bro. You're on the plateau. I'm sorry, you're a mile high. That's already a detriment to you trying to win. If you're out of breath, how you gonna win the damn basketball game?
That's true.
I'm going, and then the crowd going crazy because they successful. It's just too tough to win in Denver. I'm going with Denver.
All right, facts. And then this last one that we'll get into before we get up out of here today. Which one do I want to pull? Oh, this is a nice one. Which team has the most promising young core? Oklahoma City Thunder winning with 73% of the vote. Cleveland Cavaliers with 10%. Orlando Magic with 7%. Other teams splitting the vote. Pistons, Rockets, and Pacers. To me, I think the Pacers are way too far down this list. Bro.
I think so.
Pacers should be upwards of 20-25%, bro. Like I can understand the Thunder, but to me, the Indiana Pacers young roster is a roster that you can doubt now, but they're gonna make you pay for it in a year.
I agree.
If not this year.
I agree.
Do you think that the Pacers are better than Cleveland?
No.
I think that no, not right now because we haven't proven it. Now, do I think on paper they can be? It depends on who develops. That'll be a great conversation to have in another 2 years. But yeah.
I agree with you though. I think the Pacers got a super duper nice young core. Orlando too. I'm high on Orlando. I think Orlando has what it takes to be the OKC of the Eastern Conference, especially with Paolo. If they develop him properly, he could definitely be the linchpin for that squad. But obviously, OKC got the best young core.
You just can't argue OKC. But I'm gonna just throw one that's in like 2-3 years. Look out, Portland Trailblazers. Look at all that
Yeah, oh, for
talent
sure,
on
for
that
sure.
team.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
goodness, they
That's a team full of. All they got to do is make sure that they keep all the motherfuckers healthy and out of trouble.
yes, bro. You know the athletes
Yeah.
on
Don't
that
become the
team.
jailblazers again. No more jailblazers.
Luckily, exactly. Luckily, they're important. Ain't really much to do out there but drink and.
You don't remember Bonzi Wells and Darius Miles and Rasheed?
Listen, but Bonzi, but that was a different breed,
Yeah,
bro.
that was
They
different.
was gonna find trouble. You could put Rasheed Wallace in a convent full of nothing but male goddamn priests, and he'll find a way to get in trouble.
Yeah, and they gonna get in trouble with him.
Exactly.
I praise the Lord.
Hey, that Portland Trailblazers, they got a bright future, bro. I think more than anybody behind OKC because them athletes and oh my God, Shaden Sharp, Scoot, you got DeAndre Aytons. He probably ain't if he don't start acting like a little baby no more. You know what I'm saying?
Don't be surprised if Portland this season like sniffed the play in. Like, don't be surprised. I'm just telling you. I'm telling you the way the Western Conference is set up, bro. Look at the Utah Jazz. I'm telling you, look at the Utah Jazz from last year, and we'll talk
The
about
Utah Jazz also had a reigning 6th man of the year.
Yeah.
They had way older players that have done this whole roster ain't done shit. Like I'm sorry, making it in the postseason. They all talented. Like, cool, you got Malcolm Brogdon. I bet Malcolm Brogdon's moved by the trade.
I agree.
So
I
there you
agree.
go. Jeremy Grant scored a lot of points in the NBA. Ain't done shit since he left Denver.
The only reason
DeAndre Ayton's a head case.
Yes.
Robert Williams III. We don't even know which one of his legs is going to be able to stay healthy. Like,
I'm just saying, bro. We're gonna talk about this in a couple of months. I'm telling y'all, man, they could surprise us.
this is gonna be a team that we look at and be like, hey, Scoot, Anthony, and Shaden got some promise, but they got 5 wins in this March.
Yeah.
What we doing?
Hey, they 25 wins is the ceiling, Big Kev, for sure.
Oh,
25
man,
wins,
that's funny.
big dog.
That's funny, man. But man, we want to thank you guys for joining us, man. Y'all make sure y'all go follow C Dub over there at the Shy Bulls podcast with the Cognac Boys. You can follow Kev's at social media is too much actual government information. I don't even feel comfortable giving that. You can if you want to, Kev. I ain't giving it.
No, you can just follow Chicago White Sox and Cubs Central on YouTube.
There you go. There you go. Kev need to go change his @ to Big Bro 770 or some shit like that, bro. Like, that man got too much of his government information in his username. You can follow me at CEO Haize, but more importantly, you can follow us collectively at NBA Central Pod on every social media platform. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, NBA Central Show at gmail.com. And then lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail, 773-270-2799. We're the #1 spot for everything basketball related. We about this bitch. Peace, y'all.
This has been a presentation of the Breaks Media.